Alright everybody, welcome back to No Man's Sky, and we are here currently with this wonderful mineral extractor that is currently extracting minerals, yay, and it's doing this wonderful shaking, and we got a supply depot all hooked up, and we got a line that goes all the way back 750 U in that direction. How is this possible that Koi can actually build a base this way? We're going to find out in this episode on base expansion and extractors. How fun, let's talk about it. Okay folks, so in order to get these pylons much like this, how do I build a pylon where I can stick my wires on them? Wires you could just stick on just about any surface like this. So if I wanted to say scrap this wonderful building here, we'll just take this guy out. As you can see, the wire is actually hanging in mid-air. So if I put on the wire toggle, there's my wire connector right there. In order to get to that, you're going to essentially open your build menu with Z, go over to decoration, go over to adornments, and there is your wonderful setup, and you could kind of stick whatever thing you think would be best to be on these builds, such as this wonderful thing here. And there we go, we got a wonderful building, and we can kind of just set this up however we like. We could just kind of do alternate, whatever we think is best that makes our build look awesome, right? And there we go, we got another pylon, right? Make them as funky as you want, or you can make them look like telephone poles, all you want. So you see I've got a couple bases. I've got a base over there. That base right there is about 512 U. The one over there is about 472. Both of them are sitting on extractors. So here's the thing. A lot of people have tried to wire their base up from base A to base B, and both of them have failed because base A does not communicate very well at all with base B, and you cannot, and I repeat this again, you cannot do this base A to base B. Okay, I was like, open for me, darn it. Open for me, I want to get out the door. Ah, there. Okay, so you cannot connect base A to base B, and here is why. Okay, so I got a base all the way out there. As you can see, this base is currently about 379 U. I've got another base over this direction. This one happened to be about 623 U. A lot of people talk about hooking up bases, as you saw with the one that was way out there in that direction, so to speak. This is my main base right here. And away out there where my ship is, that's about 1,000 U away from my current position here. And so you can connect those two because those two are not connected to a base. This one, on the other hand, you either get power coming in that does not power anything, and or you get power from that end rolling in that does not power anything. And the primary reason for this, when you're trying to power like electromagnetic generators, when trying to power mineral extractors and or gas extractors, is you cannot have two bases to do this. So this leads to our wonderful episode all around base expansion. So let's delete these wires here because I don't know if it's going to affect anything here. But as you can see, I've tried to connect a pylon here. So this pylon actually has failed me several dozen times, and I'm going to show you why. Let us get some power. I'm just going to invent power. How about that? We're just going to go to do tech, power and industry. We're just going to get ourselves a biofuel reactor. This biofuel reactor is going to get hooked up with that wonderful line right there. We're going to power the biofuel reactor. A lot of people do this sort of setup. They run it, the power goes, and then it dies. Because why? If you look at this, this is about where the edge of the base officially is. And right now this thing will continue going because I built a few things out here. But at some point the base will just fail because it doesn't have an endpoint. So if you notice, I got structures active right here. And if I just take the walk over to the other base, the structure tab will eventually just disappear. So guys, you remember that pylon that I had a whole bunch of pylons from that point all the way over here? You'll notice that none of them exist anymore because they were all tied to the former existing base over there. And apparently when I built them, thinking that I attached it to this base, it turned out it was all attached to that base and all the pylons disappeared, and that is why, if you notice, even the biofuel reactors also disappeared too because that was tied to the other base as well. And so by the time it got to about this point here, let's get rid of you. You are going to annoy us forever, man. Get out of here. So by the time you get you and the base get to this wonderful point here in the build menu, the structure disappears, okay? So let's go ahead and I'm going to talk about how to find extractors here. And so first thing you want to do is you're going to get your survey visor. Survey visor, there we go. You want to get your survey visor up. You want to attach something called survey mode. And survey mode, you can find survey mode right here. This is what you're looking for, a survey device. You build this. Once you build this, you are able to find extractors. So let's talk about that. Activate survey mode. As you can see, we have one hotspot here in proximity, 353 or so units in that direction, aka where I originally built that thing. Okay, stop this. I can't. Don't put any more down. Okay, good. So all I have to do is walk in that direction until I find that extractor. And as you know, I've already done this because otherwise I wouldn't have that wonderful spot. Now, of course, the game decided to be buggy again and delete it for me. So thank you, game, for doing this and attaching a bug. So guess what? I've legitimately lost the spot because I wonder if the beacon was tied also to that spot there. No, wait. I think that's the beacon right there. Nope, that's just oxygen. Okay, good. Well, we're going to go ahead and walk up this hill and find it again. So all you have to do is just activate this every so often. Eventually, once you get kind of close, make sure both sensors on both sides are blinking. Walk in the direction until you get there. If you have to, just kind of hop and jump and skip. And you will kind of find yourself roughly in the rough areas. We got 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. At some point, it will pick up and start to do an analysis. They still let it analyze what's going on here. As you can see on the screen, there's a B power plant. 2,000, what is it? 20, oh my God. 220,000 power is where this hotspot is. Now, as soon as you leave that thing, you cannot find it at all ever again. So here's what you do. In order to have that there, one, notice where it is on the ground. So, because when you come out, sometimes you can't tell. Next, get your tech, go to portable, build yourself a save beacon, preferably. If you don't have a save beacon, use the next best thing, ideally. Some way where you can find this thing, because as soon as you do this, the save beacon will activate itself and will be found. And the goal now is to link this spot with that base right over there, basically. So we're going to go to the edge of that base, which is over here, and we're going to start expanding out this way. Alright guys, so we are inside the base. So the original base destination was right about here, 284U. I expanded this base out this way, and this is why we have all these buildings going down into the water. Now our goal now is to take this base and expand it out over into the hills until we reach that wonderful save beacon that we put up there. So the best thing to do, first off, hit Z, get the structure tab, walk forward or run forward until your base disappears, so to speak. Once you see the structure tab disappear, that is the point where your base officially ends, okay? And when that happens, you should see a difference in symbol, okay? We're gonna go and find out how far out. There it is, right about there, right on this rock, so to speak. So if you notice, if you try to build anything out here, you can't build any structural related things. So none of these things will work for that. So you have to go back, and preferably go back far enough so you know that you are past the official boundary. And I'm going to show you several ways to do this. The first way we're going to do this, we're going to go to tech, we're going to go to power industry, we're going to go power, and then we're going to hook in a battery right here. One of the reasons to put a battery down is because if you're doing an electromagnetic, much like this one here, you're going to want a line that's going to run battery power all the way to your base. So why not put batteries down and get some free storage out of it, right? I mean, how many batteries are you going to put? Maybe 10, 15? So it's worth it. You're going to get 10, 15 free storage of batteries. Now here's the thing. By putting this battery down, you'll notice the structures come back up. You could technically delete the battery and the structure is still up, and you will still be able to exceed the base limit. Notice I passed it already, and I'm already walking toward that wonderful symbol. I'm going to go about 50 to 100 U forward, and it's going to disappear again. So that's the first thing you can put down. The second thing you could put down, you can actually put down an entire building, much like this. There we go. You've got a base expansion once again, and you can power that. And you can also continue to walk about 50 to 100 U, and you eventually get a little closer to where you need to be. And there's our base limit once more. I'm going to show you again one more time. You could also build, for example, a wall, a floor, or whatever you want to do. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to put a wall right here. I'm in the middle of a field, so let's go this way. I'm going to put a wall right here. So you can also expand your base just a little bit more with some walls. So again, most every structure you'll be able to use to do this, with the exception of portable tech. Anything that's portable tech, in other words, anything that is the marine shelter, or anything under either of these two will not expand your base, okay? So let's go back, get structures. I had a question actually on the Discord, and I'm going to point something out here. We're going to do it ourselves. Here we go, tech. We're going to go to power industry. We're going to go to industrial. We're going to put a supply depot down right here. Somebody was asking, can you expand your base with a bunch of supply depots? Well, let's find out, right? We're going to walk forward, and we're going to see how far that supply depot takes us, okay? And that supply depot actually will take us right almost to where we need to be. So we could, if we really wanted to, we really could power our base with a bunch of supply depots. And that will be enough to power the extractors and fill them up all the way back to your base if you wanted to. Right? And or you can run one straight line supply depot into your base itself. So either or will do. What I do recommend by the time you do get here, though, is to actually put the thing you want to put here. Because you remember when we scanned this, we looked at it, we did survey, it was electricity. So we're going to go ahead and get our electricity generator by going tech, power industry, power, rolling it over to electromagnetic generator. And you can put one, you can put, as I did in the video before, you can put 4 of these guys. And then hook on 4 of these guys to a battery. Or you can put as many as you feel like you need and just hook it up to a battery, basically. And then from there, just wire that wire all the way back into your base. However you want to do that wire, that's fine by me. The wire, I will point this out now. The wire, because this base now is connected to this base over here, the wire here will now be able to reach the other base. And that is what's important. What if you notice what I had before, and I'm going to point it out over there. There's my base right there, 926U. And there's the other base right there. If I connect the 2 wires there, they will not interact together. But the way I've got it now, this 926U is connected to this base here. Now, I've heard, by the way, that this sort of thing breaks down at about 1,000 units to 1,500 units or so, right around there. So, the other question I get all the time is, survey mode, binocular mode, I want gas. How do I find gas? Where is it? How do I find minerals? I can't find any minerals. They keep telling me either I'm getting more electricity or I'm getting hotspot discovered. What the heck, man? Why can't I get it what I'm getting? Well, here's the deal. This here is about 50U. You want to at least get to about 400, 500U away. So we're going to head towards the ship over there, because that is where our other one is. We're going to activate. If you notice it's still there, continue going away from the hotspot you just discovered or you don't want, and eventually it will automatically switch on its own. There is no manual switching. Duh, that's so horrible. Hello game, put that in please. We want a manual swap so we can find the thing we really want to find, not wander around like I'm doing now trying to make this happen. And as you can see, the hotspot way over there is still tagged. The hotspot eventually will get erased, so you want to mark it somehow. So I'm about 322U. Let's go up the hill a little ways, and it should work right around 400 to 500. Ah, there it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Let's go back a little ways. So now the previous one is still there. It's out of range at about 550. And right there, did you see that 526? Around 550 is where it flips and disappears, or at least go 400U and then go a little bit more. Then you will finally find the next hotspot. This hotspot's been found because that is where my ship is sitting, because that safe beacon has a strange little bug where they like to disappear and it's not fun. I've already reported to Hello Games and I hope they fix that in the next patch. They didn't fix that in the most recent one that came out today on the 29th of August. A guy by the name of Gohiro, he actually helped discover some of those properties here about base expansion, so I gotta give him a ton of credit for figuring out how in the world to do actual base expansion. It was weird. A lot of us were like, what the heck do you do? We put 1 base, we put 2 bases, we put 10 bases, and none of it would connect together. Yay, right? But the goal here was we wanted to make more base connections, and we couldn't figure out how to officially make that work really well. Are those 2 ships connected together? They look like they're stuck together. It's so weird. Anyway, so yeah, so Gohiro also went out and he searched everywhere for each and every power classification. So if you go into Discord and you go to No Man's Sky Help, you can actually look in the pinned links and you can find the pin that talks about each and every class. That's why I'm not doing it here, because it's way more self-explanatory on there. He does an entire thing for it, and he'll talk about the C class, the B class, the A class, and eventually the S class. So if you notice there's a base out in the water, we are going to be going there and talking about bases in the water and extraction. Okay, I'm going into build mode here. There's me floating away. Hi, me. So I'm in here in build mode because I wanted to show you something. You can actually build base parts in the water, and there is no problem with putting bases in the water. It will actually work, and not only do you have to use aquatic mode, you don't even have to stick with aquatic base part. You can actually use regular base pieces if you wish to do so. And regular base pieces will fit on very shallow areas and will fit on deep water as well. So way over there I got some base pieces that are all aquatic made. But at the same time I made some base pieces that are non-aquatic. So I'm going to go show you one. I should still have it sitting here. Okay guys, so I am currently inside a normal base, right? This is actually a normal base building here. But if you notice, I put a watertight door using the aquatics there. I put a watertight door so that way I can actually use that base if I so choose to as a watertight base. And it's basically a normal base building with normal pieces on it, with the exception of that it could have been a watertight base with using aquatics and using all the aquatic pieces. Now I'm going to show you, I think it will work here. On the outside, we're going to go to doors. We're going to go over to hollow doors, and the hollow doors should still work on this. There we go. We got a base with a hollow door. It's not going to go anywhere because I don't have any way to get there. But let's just kind of mine this stuff out so I can kind of get down to the door there. And there we go. We got ourselves inside. It's so bizarre, but the hollow door actually works and it keeps the water out. Don't ask me why that works, but it does. Getting back to the extractors, folks. Getting back to extractors. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to delete this base in the water, and I'm going to show you, as it all disappears here, I got my save beacon that's failing to work because it doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. We're going to go ahead and scan this right now. The hotspot is currently right here for gas. We're going to kind of zoom in a little until I can get on top of the gas marker. In the water, it's a little bit more challenging to do it because you're kind of floating there. You could get attacked by random things in the water, etc., etc. Once you find the hotspot, the goal now is to eventually find the hotspot in relation to stuff. So I put the exocraft here so I can find it again. As you remember, my base is sitting right there, not even very far away. It's only 487 U in that direction. So I'm going to show you how to link these two bases up together in this direction now. Alright, we're on the shoreline now. We're going to head towards my exocraft there. And again, I could do this in a bunch of different ways. I mean, since I'm on the water, I might as well do some aquatic stuff, right? I could just totally build an aquatic chamber. I could just kind of go out until I lose the main chamber there in aquatics. And then once it disappears, I could just go back a little ways and then put the chamber down and then have it attached to my main base. And as you can see, it will eventually just disappear. Now, of course, it's going to go out for a little ways in this direction because I got a few base pieces that are kind of sitting out there and out in the water there. And so we're going to keep going out towards the exocraft until I cannot build a structure. So ironically, of all places it could stop, it stops here on the shoreline. Look, literally on the shoreline. Right there. So I might as well just build an aquatic building just because I want to build one, okay? You can also expand your base with aquatic buildings. So here is a regular aquatic deep water chamber. Now, deep water chambers have to be in the water somewhere or you cannot build it because it's got to be underwater. So there we go. We built one right about there. That will do. And then from there, that should expand our base just a little bit more beyond the shoreline. We're going to keep going toward the exocraft. From here on out, I'm essentially going to be using tech. And I'm going to be using power and industry. And I'm going to be going to industrial. Oh, there it goes. It turned itself off. There we go. I'm going to go back to power and industry. Go to industrial. I'm going to start putting in some supply depots starting right here. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get to that wonderful hotspot, which is in the water. And so this is a convenient way to get supply depots and get extra supply depots in there. Supply depots will expand the base, as will a few other things. So something to keep in mind here. I'm going to put a gas extractor right here because this is what we're using. The gas extractor is at least, let's find out how far we are here. At least 140 U right now from this. It's generating nothing because we got no power, but you can also see we are getting something right now. And from this far away, we're getting a concentration of 934 ppm. We're going to get volume per cycle 233 from only about 100 away. So I could actually build my gas extractor right here. But the sake of this is trying to show you what it looks like underwater, okay? So we're going to go all the way out to where we can't get this. I'm going to put a bunch of supply depots. I'll be right back with you guys. Alright folks, so I am currently on the destination itself. Let's see how much of a difference that a gas extractor has. Now I have a concentration of 1,000 ppms. And that's still going to give me my same 250 cycles. So the closer you are to the spot, the better off you are. Even though I can put some way up there and get a little bit in, the closer I am, the better off I am. So we're going to go ahead and go into build mode here. And we're going to use build mode to help me see, so that way I'm not bobbing up and down in the water. What I also learned, by the way, that I didn't think this was possible, but you can stick solar panels in the water. They will work. They will do what they're supposed to do, which is very bizarre. You wouldn't think this actually could happen. So I'm going to put 4 solar panels right now. The sun will eventually rise. I'm going to put a battery to hook it up with it. I shouldn't need more than this for what I've got already connected to the base here. So we're just going to wire all these up as normal, like you would do with anything else. Everything's just super close range because I'm like not too far away from the surface. And then we're going to take this battery right here. We're going to start wiring everything else up. Now keep in mind when you do this, you cannot, and I repeat this, you cannot run a wire between supply depots like this. You would not be able to do that because the supply depot going forward into this one, for example, will not have power attached to it. Right now I don't have any power in anything. So let's go ahead and put a biofuel reactor just temporarily right here. We're going to power that guy right into the system. And then we're going to go ahead and launch the biofuel reactor. Biofuel reactor, thank you. Because the sun's not there. And you'll notice when I have power here, what it starts to do, okay? Unless they made the fix. That's the question. Did they make the fix? Let's find out. Oh, dang, look at that. They finally fixed it. Wow, they finally fixed it, I think. Wait. Nope. I don't think they fixed it. They didn't fix it yet. Oh, there we go. I see what's wrong. So if you take the supply depot here and you try to connect the other end of the line of the supply depot, I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. Come on, tech, power industry, power electricity. Okay, there we go. We're going to run this guy to this guy. Now you notice this line here is completely dead. It does not work. It's just a dud line. The line from the battery is here. If you try to connect it from here, for example, all the way to here, you're going to get a false positive thinking that your line is working because now both lines are working. But again, if you connect it with the wrong line to the wrong place, to the wrong area, you're again going to find out you have a dud line. So supply depots do not connect, cannot conduct power, nothing. Okay, just something to keep in mind for you guys, okay? But I will point this out here. Industrial supply pipe, connecting a supply pipe from here to here will work. And then connecting that same pipe from here on to the next one, this will work. And you can also do supply pipes going all the way down from where you're supposed to, going into each and every supply line. So we're going to go all the way to this one over there. And we're going to go check that particular one because it should be working because now we have power. That gas line is generating gas. So let's see what we actually have happening in our supply depots. If you notice now, we are currently storing and it is currently working and the silo is currently filling. Now, if you notice, this is the deadline that I have here, right? We're going to go over down the supply line over to the next one and you're going to see something very odd. This is why I say it's bugged. The thing is still storing. It's now at 7. It's still filling and it's still giving me nitrogen overall storage 3250. Right? And I could just keep doing this. I don't need lines for supply for the power. However, to avoid a bug in the future, just connect your line together just in case they fix it and you need power and all of it dies. Alright, so folks, one more point to give you before I end the episode. So we built a mineral extractor over there, we built a gas extractor over there, and somewhere up on the hill, be right around where those guys are, there is a electricity extractor. So if you find all three, are you limited to all three? Absolutely not. So we're going to go back into survey mode. If you notice, there's another electricity hotspot about 400 U in about that direction, probably over on that island over there, or maybe just beyond the island. So if you're interested, you can get more electricity. So you can just like build out your base that way, expand your base going that way, as I did here. I've got my base going this way with the aquatic pieces. And once I get into the water, you can actually see the aquatics right there. And if I need power for the aquatics, I can just power it with a whole brand new generator over on that side. I don't have to connect everything all together with one power supply. I can just use the same power supply to do everything to get it into and out of my bases. That's still broken. Okay, good. Nice to know. Alright guys, so we're going to call it quits on this episode. If you like this episode, please do like, subscribe, leave me comments. And I do have to give an extra special thanks to Gohiro. He is the one who went off on his own in Beyond to find each and every type of power that you could possibly get. C class, B class, A class, and S class. Of course, S class is the best. So look up that on the Discord, on the No Man's Sky Discord, and find the No Man's Sky help section. Under there's a bunch of pin tabs, and one of the pin tabs happens to list each and S, A, C, B, all those wonderful things. As for me, I'm going to head off. We talked about essentially hooking up power from this end to that end with one base. We talked about how to deal with two bases interacting with each other and issues that you got there. And we talked about how to get this stuff in the water itself. So that way you can get power from the water. Ain't that awesome? Alright, we'll see you in the next one, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, while this thing's loading in, I'm just doing a quick test recording to make sure the mic is actually working because the mic bugged out on me. Good job, Mike. You got killed because Windows had an update. Yay!